Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to the channel. So hey, in today's video, what I want to do is I just want to have a little bit deeper of a conversation with you guys about a subject that really hits home with me because I believe it's tremendously important that more and more people wake up to this idea. So what exactly are we talking about? We're talking about you waking up to creating a plan and put a plan in place for you to escape. And you're like, hold on, wait, let's back up. What am I even escaping from? Like, how am I trapped? Or what are you talking about, Keith? Like, what's going on here? So we're specifically talking about in this video about you coming up with a plan to escape the 9 to 5 grind, pretty much being on that financial hamster wheel of just having to get up, to go to work, to earn money, to pay bills. And then after you've paid those bills, have a little bit money left over for you to basically just buy a few things that you want or that you would like to do with that money. And then you're going to, without a plan, without a financial plan in place, basically what's going to happen is you are stuck. Like you are on that financial hamster wheel and you are going to do this action perpetually for the remainder of your entire life because there is no plan in place for you to escape. So that is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So if you're new here to the channel, what you want to do is you want to find the subscribe button right here on the bottom right side of the screen. Go ahead and give that subscribe button a quick tap for me. So that way you will get notified by YouTube each and every time I upload a video just like this one you're watching right now. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, you guys, so the very first step that we're going to need to take so then that way we can start to create a game plan and put ourselves in a strong financial position where we could escape this 9 to 5 grind of just going to work for money and paying bills and basically just being broke after that. The first and foremost thing that we must do is actually realize that we are in this situation, that we are in this trap. Because without acknowledging that, we're basically in we're delusional. We're thinking like, yes, we're good. Life is great. We're just going to keep on working, keep running your business, keep making your money, whatever way you are doing it. Go about life just the way you are, and that somehow, just magically, you're going to reach financial freedom. And, later on down in your life, you're just going to be like, oh, I don't have to go to work anymore. And it's like, that's like a fairy tale. That does not exist in the real world. So that's why I say the very first step that we must take is actually come to the realization and get very real with ourselves and accept the reality that without putting a plan in place, if we continue to take the same actions that we are doing on a day in and day out basis of just either going to work or running your business, earning the money, in other words, going out, spending that money on paying bills, paying for our lifestyle, and then just pretty much doing a couple things that we want to do after that, going out to eat, whatever, buying a few gifts, whatever, things like that. And then ultimately you live that lifestyle long enough. That's it. Like that is going to be your life forever. You are never going to escape that because nothing about those actions is going to put you in a position or a situation that it's going to create a lifestyle. There is no exit game plan in that. Like when you hear me say those things like go to work or run the business and make the money, it's like, that's it. And then you just earn the money and then you spend the money. So where's the plan to escape? There is not one. So you are going to be stuck in that endless cycle of doing that perpetually for the rest of your life until the day you die. And I don't believe that you want to do that. I believe that at some point you want to step away from the workforce or step away from your business and truly set yourself free and become financially free so you no longer have to be worrying about how you're going to earn money or how you're going to get your bills paid or anything like that. So if that is exactly the path that you're wanting to go on, I would appreciate it if you find the like button on this video, give it a like just to let me know, hey, look, yes, that is the concept that I'm going for. I want to one day be financially free. I don't want to be stuck in this 9 to 5 grind for the rest of my life. Okay, so now that we've come to terms and accepted the fact that yes, we recognize the situation that we are in, we see the problems with it, we recognize we're earning money, we're basically spending it all, and when it's all said and done, if we continue to take those same actions, we're never going to be able to stop working. We're never going to get financially free. So now that we recognize that situation that we're in, now we can start to create the game plan. So the next step, what we're going to do to start creating this game plan is we're going to say, okay, we know those actions are not going to get us to financial freedom. That's never going to allow us to step away from, the workforce or that 9 to 5 daily grind. So what did the people who are already financially free, who have already reached, that point and that stage of their life where they're like, I never have to work again. Like I have plenty of money. I have plenty of wealth. I'm good. I'm done with working. I don't need to. Or if I do work or I do something, it's because I want to. Those people are doing what they want when they want, with who they want, where they want, whenever they want. And I'm sure that that sounds absolutely amazing to you, and you could have that life too, but you have to take different actions than like the ones we just previously mentioned of just making the money, spending it all on just paying bills and other things that are not going to create the outcome that's going to get you to financial freedom. So then we look at those people who have already reached financial freedom and say, okay, what are the actions that those people took in order to get to their financial freedom? Because they're obviously there, they've already reached and obtained the end goal that we're trying to get to. So we don't have to come up with some elaborate game plan or try to come up with some new wealth building financial freedom philosophy and try to figure out, it doesn't need to get so complex. All we really need to do is just look at a proven path that will allow us to go from where we are, earning income, getting up, going to work every day, earning some money, paying bills, and then being broke. We're going from here to where they are, where those people are, that lifestyle that they have, that doing what you want, where you want, when you want, with who you want, whenever you want. That's where we're trying to get to. And no longer having to be worrying about pursuing, income or worrying about trying to get more money. That is the least of those people's problem. And that's where we want to get to. So we're like, okay, what did they do? What were the actions that they took? And what you're going to find out is that those people who are rich, those people who are wealthy, and those people who have reached financial freedom, they all own assets. Okay, so what these people did is they realized hey, I don't want to run my business forever. I don't want to work for nobody forever. So the way that I'm going to be able to get out of this situation, so one day I could step away from all of this lifestyle of just constantly earning and pursuing money and just paying bills, is that I got to take a different action. And that action is going to be for them to accumulate assets. And basically that means for them to just purchase and own and gain as many of those assets as they possibly can. And what type of assets would that look like? It would look like investing into real estate in all different forms. It could be commercial real estate. It could be residential real estate. It could be, digitally through the forms of investing in real estate trusts, things like that. It could be investing into the stock market, purchasing individual stocks or things like index funds or ETFs. It could be things like all of these different options, and there's a bunch of other different types of investments, but we're not really trying to sit here and talk about all of the different type of investments that you could get into. But the point is that these people who have reached financial freedom, what they did differently, they recognized that in order for them to get to financial freedom, they needed to own assets, because assets that are good quality assets, they will go up in value over time. So that's going to allow them to grow their wealth, grow their investment portfolio to a large number that ultimately then they could say, okay, I could then take those assets, sell out, and then go into other investments that are not about growing and building their wealth anymore, but that are going to pay them the income necessary in order for them to fund their lifestyle, to pay for their lifestyle. So in the beginning, when they were in the phase, we were just talking about of the earning money, paying bills and all that, they had to make some adjustments in their lifestyle and be I'm not going to just spend all of my income on just bills and on just buying things that are not going to grow and build my wealth. So yes, of course, they pay their bills and things like that. I'm not saying don't pay your bills, but you got to find some income that you can, set aside from the income that you're earning and start using that income to accumulate wealth building assets. And then when you have enough of those assets and those assets have gone up in value enough, ultimately down the road at some point in the future, you will then be able to say, okay, I've built a sizable amount of wealth. I can then cash out of these investments. They've gone up significantly and my wealth has grown to a good number. So once you actually get your portfolio to where you own enough assets that if you cash out of them and then you go and put that money into other investments, that those investments will pay you out the cash that you need to be able to fund your lifestyle. When you reach that number, that is when you know you have truly set yourself financially free and that your assets are going to pay for your lifestyle. You can completely step away from the 9-to-5 grind. You could step away from the workforce and you're never going to have to work again if you don't want to. And you will then find yourself in that situation where you could do what you want, when you want, where you want, with who you want, whenever you want. And like I said, that is exactly the goal. Okay, so the real key takeaway and the point that I really want to drive home and stress to you is that in order for you to go from where you are to where you ultimately want to get to, is that you need to have some income that you can then take out of your income each and every single month, or however you do it. But some kind of way, you got to find a situation where you could purchase assets that are going to go up in value over time, accumulate and do your very best to accumulate as much of those assets as possible. Let those assets go up in value over time. And then when your assets go up in value enough, you could then cash out of those assets and then go invest that money that you've built into assets that will pay you cash. They're not going to really be assets that are focused on growing your wealth so much. They're more about just preserving the wealth that you've already built, but they're going to continue to pay you cash. They're going to be cash generating assets. And that is how you basically you buy back your freedom, by investing into assets and allow your assets to pay for your lifestyle. So really what happens is, in the beginning, you are going to work to earn money to buy assets, and then later on, when you've built already your wealth and you're at that point of financial freedom, now it's going to be the reverse. The assets are going to pay you and you don't do any work at all. And I know that that's truly where you want to get to, and you will get there. I believe that you will get there because you watch this video, you understand, all right, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go ahead, start taking action, start purchasing assets, and get myself to the point where I could ultimately reach financial freedom. So with that being said, a video is going to pop up here on the screen. What you want to do is you want to click in that video, and I will see you in that next video.